Weird. I feel like I've just lost a whole bunch of brightness. Sound check. Let's clear up some rubbish before I create some more rubbish. Literally and figuratively. Right, that stuff needs to be sorted out. More junk. Dave, Nelly and Tim. We have our apparent winners. Invoices, guess I should keep those so the tax department doesn't come along and give me the full treatment. Let's see. Sound in good sync. Thanks, Dave. Matthew Steele, Blaze, Chris Brown, Froze Tech. No, I don't remember Froze Tech. Oh, hello from Portugal. Yes. Christina Cosoro Abe. Cosoro Abe. Apologise for butchering your name. Half the problem is that I can't see the screen that clearly. I should increase the size of the text. In fact, I should do that now. Come on, Chrome. Increase the size of the text. Let's see, zoom, plus. Ah, that's better. I can actually read. Hey, from the ashes. And someone with very interesting kind of writing, but I don't know what that is. Or do I? Some people on first glance would think that is, I was going to say Hebrew, but I don't think it is. Hey, Pernov. Yeah, I'm certainly feeling quite a bit better these days. Don't have that horrible feeling where I feel like I've got acid wash going down the back of my throat and stuff like that. What have we got? Broken screen, no point refurbishing, just throw it away. We've got more bubble wrap than I care to point a stick at. Oh, Skittles. I didn't realise over there. What's this? Starburst. Wonder if they've been contaminated with something. See, in trouble with when people send you food gifts and stuff like that. Your paranoia kicks in. You kind of go, what if something got into it that I'm not aware of? I mean, like, that's not going to happen at the shopping centre anyway. I mean, gee, Australia had the whole needles in the strawberries thing last year. We don't think twice about it because we've got this perception that if we get things from the shop, it should be okay. And it's quite a strong one too, to the point where you can actually feel paranoid about eating fresh vegetables out of your own yard because it didn't come from the shop. Hey, Brian Beck. 8:40, the east coast of the States. Oh, good, so all the important people are awake now. Hey, Bailey. Hey, Ned Beard. And Englishman in Brazil. And dank Brazil. How's things going down there, Bailey? You guys frozen still? I'm just bending over and cleaning up more. Whoops. There we go. These things. Now, should I throw this out? I think I should. They're pretty useless. I'm just running out of room in this workshop. Hey, Sully Channel. And Block 1984. Dave Hutchman. Well, everybody's turning up. Looks like it was a good time to stream. Okay, another invoice. I mean, my invoices are electronically stored already, but the taxman does like to see paper versions sometimes. More invoices. A lot of the problem that happens here is all the packages tend to arrive when I'm in the middle of a rush, so I crack open the boxes and get them processed and the parts that I need out, and then it just gets thrown to the side while I get the current job done. Let's see. So cold, can't complain. Oh, okay. Is there a discount code for your software? Mohammed, no, there's not. The software already is pretty much discounted because you already get open board view, which Peernov also contributes a lot to. So, in a way, the fact that there's an open version, free for you to use, that is the discount. I mean, really, if you go to any of the commercial, old school EDA type packages, then $79 is more of like the price you pay just to talk to the representative half the time. You typically would be paying more like 15 to 20,000 for a lot of those real packages. Anyway, not to say that I think they're worth that, but it's just that, 79, there's no real room left in that. I understand that, people do like to get every bit they can, and I mean, that's the way to do it. Try and find every bit of money saving you can get. So, don't take me wrong on that. No, understand that completely. But, 79 is where it sits at the moment. Have you tried Blue Tack Trick for what? Ah, yes, the board holder. Alright, the board holder goes in the bin. Which, of course, hasn't been emptied in ages. So, yeah. They're useless because this T-bar at the end, it just... And you can fix that, but it's just another thing that uses up space and doesn't do the job right. First time catching you live from South Africa. JCT, where in South Africa are you? You're in Cape Town, Johannesburg, Pretoria, Durban, Nullspruit. Tell me where you're from. Centurion, Witswaterwand. Let's see, there's got to be more junk in here. Oh, there's heaps more junk. The other bad thing I have is of keeping bubble wrap, particularly this sort of stuff, but it's a bit pointless trying to keep this kind of bubble wrap because the whole row is actually one single cell, so you violate the cell and the whole lot goes down. So, and I just ordered myself another 100-meter roll of bubble wrap anyway. It just feels so bad to throw out this kind of stuff because I think this plastic, it's not going to break down. It's going to sit around. I do wish we could do something more with the materials that we waste just in packaging. I mean, you look at a typical screen getting delivered to me. Yeah, where was that one I just threw out? Ah, here we go. This will do. So you got the cardboard box, and this is a good one. And then you got your two plastic clamshell pieces, and then there's the plastic on the front to protect the screen from getting scratched, and then there's the red plastic on the back, just for whatever reason it's there. And it all just goes into the junk, and that piles up, and where does it go? It goes to the trash, nothing gets recycled. It's like, cleaning speaker grills on mobiles, headphones. I did that yesterday, actually. Greetings from Melbourne. Hey, John. Pretoria and drinking beer. Whereabouts in Pretoria are you from? I used to live in Pretoria, and then I moved out to Centurion, bought myself a house at De Hoover's. Let's see, got food poisoning in one of the local pubs there. Spent a lot of time down at the Stocks and Stocks hotels because that's where I was working, which then became Legacy Hotels. Kiwi Size says, hi, hello Kiwi guy. Malcolm I. Yeah, we all need to clean our rooms. 845 Philadelphia. Use acetone to dissolve any horrid polystyrene. Yeah, we use petrol around here sometimes. As kids, we used to make redneck napalm out of petrol and styrofoam. That was not a good thing to do, but we did it. It was not good. The dumb crap you do as a kid, really. especially when there was no internet. I mean, how are you going to keep occupied with any computers? Well, not consumer grade computers. Monument Park. Okay, yep, I know Monument Park. I used to work not too far from there as well. Our offices, we had one set of offices out there. What was the place called? Oh well, but anyway, I know Monument Park. Yep. Small world. Oh, Sally from Cairns. That's right. I do remember that now. I'm pretty sure you told me that before. Alright. These things are my... I do like chewy Jews like this. Like, juicy Jews and stuff like that. I don't know what they call them in other places, but... The trouble is there's so much sugar in them, and I think I need to back off on the sugar these days. I'm getting a little old. And I am going to be doing a board repair. I'm just kind of want to clean up the place a little bit to give myself a bit of air. Because at the moment I feel like I'm throwing trash on top of trash. What are you? I think you're a working part. Watching from Ireland. I do like Ireland. I like New Zealand. I like Canada. And if you're noticing the table's wobbling at the moment, you'll be very correct. And the reason being is because... What is this? Oh, I can throw that. It's a common chip. This wood board... let's put it here. Okay, this... Come on, back it up, buddy. Going down. It's not sealed. And just over the course of the last week or two, there's a moisture difference between the top and the bottom, and so consequently it's buckled up. And I can fix it. Another thing to do. Alright, let's catch up on the chat again. No trick, bond with that. What? How did you get started in the repair game? Where did you learn the tricks? Yeah, no tricks. Hey, Pa, Germany? What would it be? Guten Morgen? Guten Morgen? I don't know. I can't do the guttural anymore. Been out of South Africa for too long. Do you ever work on game consoles? No. Oh, I've done a PlayStation 4 HDMI port thing, but as a general rule, no. As for how I got into this, I've always been doing electronics, computers, all that sort of thing for a long time, whatever's in demand at the time, whatever my career happened to be heading into. And more recently, I had two particular customers that bought me items. The first one was a person bringing me an iPod 4 Touch, and they basically said to me, here's the spares that we bought from eBay, here's the broken iPod Touch. We don't care if you can't do it successfully or whatever. We know you're doing computer work. Just give it a go. If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. And so through that, I got into the iPhone repairs back when, the iPhone 4 had only just come out at that time. So that got me going for a couple of years there, and I was still doing normal PC IT stuff and programming. And then a few years ago, a customer bought me an A1278 13-inch MacBook Pro, a classic sort of computer. And again, same thing. They said, look, just give it a go, see if you can fix it. The power doesn't come up on it or anything like that. And of course, I went through the usual thing where I thought, I'll just change the DCM board. That didn't work. And then I happened to fix it up by luck. And at the same time, I found Lewis Rossman's videos because someone else mentioned to me to go check out Lewis Rossman. And I'm not really a fan of checking out other people's YouTube videos. I mean, I really wasn't much into it because I found a lot of people are very contrived and just over the top and all that sort of thing. And I was right. Lewis was very much like that, and I found him very offensive and immediately didn't subscribe. I'm only kidding. I did find one of his videos about the cannot speak specific issue that I was dealing with, and that was of course with the one-wire circuit, which is all very famous for failing. And so yeah, I got that fixed, and yeah, from there I sort of thought, well, I want to know more about these MacBooks and how to repair them. And at that stage everyone was mostly just using schematics, and this whole board file thing was quite foreign to me. And then eventually I saw that they had this open source board file program, because Landrex really was just sucked for me, particularly because I was on Linux. And then I saw that Pilnov, PathMath, and a couple of other people were working on it. And that pretty much leads me up to the state that I'm in now. So yeah, there you go. Dun, dun, dun. What's my favourite food? Don't really have a specific favourite. But I will say that Australian food sucks relative to, say, what I experienced in South Africa. And in fact, anywhere, not anywhere, German and English food is a little bit bland. But Italian, South African, Portuguese, Asian, that sort of thing, I enjoy that kind of food. But yeah, I just don't really get the flavour here in Australia. I don't know why. Just it's not there. But yeah, I don't really have a favourite. I would say probably if I had to stick to one particular style of cuisine, I'd probably end up in the Asian sort of culture. Let's see. Montana 6:51. Hey, McLaren. Alex Still should be just waking up now. Ripped the touch cable off my iPhone 7 display trying to replace the battery. Can you get replacements, or an entire display has to be replaced? Yeah. Oh, thanks, Matthew. Yeah, I'm feeling substantially better. It was not a pleasant trip with the unwellness. My bag of balls, got to keep my balls handy. I'm starting to wonder whether I might become more of a pre-made ball reballer person or not. Still, jury is out on that. If I can get my CNC rig, then I might be able to make up some jigs that will make my life a lot easier, and I might go back to paste a bit more. I did a couple of SMCs today, and I just found putting 0.35, was it 0.4? No, 0.35 mil balls worked quite well in those. Onion salt improves everything. I think the key is chicken grease salt. Those three things. That's how you make KFC. Australian food isn't great. The imported cuisine is amazing. Best meals I've had were in Melbourne. So that could be the key. See, Melbourne to me feels like the sort of city that is more culture orientated, more so than Sydney. Sydney is more of like a patriotic fusion and confusion down there. Sorry, I'm a little bit congested still, so my voice whacks out. It's because it just sort of like chokes me out a bit here and there. Seems to be doing it to my brain too. So yeah, Melbourne's probably more my scene. I guess I'll have to get down there one day. Anyone know where I can get a refurbished one so I can keep the original? Travis, just pretty much every iPhone screen supplier will have a refurbished option. Hey Ed, Atlanta, is it raining today? It seems to be the thing that Atlanta's known for. Raining and airport for some reason. I'm not sure why the airport thing. Hey Paul. Yes, I get a little bit nasal choked, and where you want to hock up something, but I'll try and control that urge tonight so that we don't disappoint too many people. Okay. Oh, my 0.45. So maybe it was 0.4s that I was using. So I know my stencil was saying 0.3, but I thought 0.3 was a bit small, and the trouble is if you put .3s into those SMC stencils that Lewis sells, or that you can get anywhere on AliExpress, it's too easy to get 2 balls into the hole. Whereas if you put, say, a .4 in there, there's no way you can get 2 balls into the hole. It makes it much easier. So try .4 if you've got one of those stencils and you've tried to use pre-made balls. Don't use .3, try .4. The awesomer, the name is Paul, not Daniel. My last name is Daniels, but not Daniel. I know. A lot of people do that to me for some reason, and I've decided that I'm going to start stamping it out. Not a great fan of the name Daniel for me. It doesn't suit me. Although some people seem it must. So, Paul. I also go by the name of Jack, but that really is something I buried many years ago after I came back to Australia. Hey, Rodrigo. So, homemade Indian. Indian. Yeah, but then again, Indian falls under the Asian cuisine in my opinion, so I'm safe there. Gotta love a good curry. Tasmania definitely is very fresh. I think the trouble with Tasmania is that they're more of a primary producing type state, and you really need that to get to Melbourne, which thankfully is a 1 hour hop away, to get someone to actually make it nice. It's all good, awesomer. Like I said, I'm just bringing it up every time I see it, and then eventually people should be able to catch on. Right, this room's still a complete and utter trash fest. So I got a lot of bags that the computers come in during the week, and I just slice them off and throw them to the side. And it really builds up. You don't think it would. You think it's just a bag, but then if you could see the rest of this room, you'd be horrified. There's a reasonable amount of space in here, but it just gets consumed so quickly. And it does not help that I am a sloppy person. I do not have that anally retentive, not even that, I do not have that organized structure. I mean, you look at the bench behind me and you can see what I mean. See, my twin lives in Melbourne, so I have a good reason to visit regularly. Glad he doesn't live in Perth. Yeah, Perth is another country. Shame, we shouldn't be like that. Yeah, Western Australia, I do think, though, they almost would be better off being their own country rather than being straddled into the East Coast, because the East Coast really doesn't seem to give 2 hoots about the West Coast, and Western Australia suffers for it half the time. Alright, we're getting close. Just trying to spin around, because I'm going to need room to turn around and dump stuff down here. So what have we got here? We've got a... This is my 12-inch. Oh right, this is the 11-inch that Mr. Potts left me. It runs, but it just needs a solid state stick. I really don't know what I'm going to do with it, to be honest. I guess it'll be good as a tester, and at least it's only 11-inch. It almost feels bad, though, to be holding on to a working MacBook that I'm not going to be using that much. I've also got a 1465 version. I've got a 15-inch. I've got quite a lot of MacBooks here that I just do not, that'll work, that I could sell, but I just don't use. The only thing that I do use other than my 1502 is this 1466, which is my Flexboard View compiler machine. Now I've actually had to put a sticker on it, because otherwise I will cannibalize it if I'm not careful. I'll walk along and I'll go, hey, I need a part of that, and I'll cannibalize it. And that is great, because it'll get a job done. But then one day when I've got to build Flexboard View for macOS again, I'll have to go through an hour-long process of fixing it back up. So that tells me not to cannibalize this machine. Alright. Let's I do have another machine I need to work on, but I think I'm gonna wait till I have some private time for this, because it's not a job I've done very regularly and it's not a job I like. And yeah, let's see, you can have a look. Basically, airbags have deployed on this 1398, which means the battery has to be ripped out, and of course anyone who's done the batteries on these knows that it's not a fun process, and there's a high risk involved, because you can either have alcohol seeping into the keyboard, which you don't want, or worse, if you forget to unfold the screen, you can have alcohol go into your screen, which is really a mistake people generally will only make once. Thankfully it's not something I've done on these. I learnt that from iPhones, funnily enough, not to do that. So I definitely didn't do it to Macs. And then of course after that you've got the explosive, well it's not really explosive, the flammability issue of a ruptured cell. But, you know, I have to do it. I'm just kind of procrastinating on it. I need to make up some ringlets and fishing line to do it properly. Hey Sonia, good to see you. So, 4 working MacBooks, 1278, 1466, 1503. Oh, I was going to say. Right, so ITM2, you pretty much got the same sort of setup as what I'm going for here too. Okay. Oh, another bag. Honestly, I've got enough bags here that I could be like Dexter for a night and chop up bodies. I tried getting into the Dexter series. I watched the first season, but I don't think I'll go for the second season. It just doesn't quite gel with me. I think probably because I was hoping it'd be something more forensic orientated with the blood splatters and stuff like that, but it's really, they just seem to light touch on it, and the rest is more the drama. I was after something a little more technically inclined. Hey Tony Nash. Getting better. It's, yeah, someone said it's 11 PM here. Yeah, that's about right. Such a pain to keep all the small items associated with repair organised neatly. It really is. I do have a lot of containers and stuff like that, and I do tend to keep those organised for the most part. But every now and then, you know, things burst out and it becomes a complete chaos. Yeah, so Dexter didn't work out being quite the series that I was expecting, so like I say, I gave the first season a shot, but beyond that I don't think I'm going to. What's this? Oh, my iPhone SE stuff. It was amusing to me though to see let's see, Lucifer from Supernatural in there. That was amused me. And he's one of those actors that basically doesn't change his acting. He is who he is regardless of what show he's playing in. A bit like Ryan Reynolds. I just got to put this SE stuff into a SE container. Fringe is pretty good. I will agree on that. I just didn't get to finish that series and they took it off. I think I got to the end of season 4, just after. I think it was the one season after she had met with Mr. Nimue, and then got propelled out the car when she returned back to Earth A. and then after that I didn't really get a chance to see anything more. Money Heist is good 3 seasons. Let's see. I was thinking of watching Firefly again, but I don't know. I think it's time for me to put that to rest. I've watched it so many times. Likewise, Scrubs. I do love Scrubs. It's about the only medical show I could ever watch these days. And in spite of the fact that it's comedy and all that, it seems to be quite accurate. But I think I've gone through those 10 seasons and the disappointment at the end or whatever. I think it's time to put that one to rest as well. I could probably watch the Bourne trilogy another couple of times. The subsequent 2 movies after that, probably not. Really, they should have just left it at the trilogy. Hey Jacqueline, thank you. The Expanse. Someone was pushing The Expanse to Lewis the other day too. I did see The Expanse. Yeah, I haven't really gotten into it. Alrighty, I think I'm almost ready now to pull out my box of boards that need work. There we go. New Amsterdam is good if you like Scrubs. Tony, is New Amsterdam comedy type inclination, or is it serious, more like Grey's Anatomy or something? Not that I'd go Grey's Anatomy, it's a little bit it's too drama for me. I like stuff that's got a bit more technical in it. Good God, man, how many of these have I got? Okay. Christina, really? How many times you watch Scrubs now? Let's see. Schematic diagram for Lenovo, notebook board, NMA A3. Oh, I don't know that one. I probably don't have that one. Have you tried Bad Caps? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Scrubs. And, I really like the way it mostly played out. Except for the ending scene of the whole season, it was just like a little bit too classically cliche. I think they could have done a bit better with JD walking out the hall. I don't know, I guess it was a pretty difficult thing to... Okay, you're a donor. I don't know what you were doing in there. Okay, you're functional. Oops. Hey, Q's. Okay. See, I have to be careful with some of those shows like that lean more towards Grey's, because they will tend to trigger my anxieties at times. I mean, don't get me wrong, I used to watch surgical shows as a kid and I loved it. I'd probably get dry eyes and cracked lips just from sitting there with my mouth hanging open too long watching those shows. Still remember them very clearly. I remember the host himself, they could never do that, what he did these days, but he wanted to demonstrate what happens, the process that goes in your body when you're deprived of oxygen, so he just constantly breathed into a paper bag until he passed out on the show. You can't get away with that anymore these days. But that was a good show, but I couldn't watch it anymore these days. Persons of Interest, I did hear about that. Yeah. Yeah, I remember ER. Yeah, don't think I could handle that. No. Alright, so we have got 4 3115 boards here. I guess we're going to see if we can make at least one of them work. We've got a few MagSafe boards here, I think. Okay. Yeah, you guys are not useful. 2565, 2565, so they should work for that. And the testing tool, our beloved fan. Hey, VW Rick. I hate the Stranger Things is over for another year. I gotta say, the Stranger Things Series 3 was far better than Season 2. I like that they turned it a bit darker, a bit grittier, which sort of reflect the fact that the kids have gotten older. But it moved ahead in terms of seriousness a lot more than the actual kids' aging was. Wasn't overly into the whole kid romance sort of thing, but got a cough. Yarr. Yep. You talk long enough and you're gonna hock up a loogie. Okay, what are you guys? I think these are all viable boards. Wait, what are you? Oh yeah, 34, 37, 34, 37, 165, 34, 37. Oh well, if anyone comes in with needing a MacBook Air board, then I'm set. Which I'm very upset about. Season 3 of Santa Clarita Diet was definitely a bust. They really should not have They really should have just gotten Nathan Fillion back as the head, because that was just one of so many things that went wrong. It really was pretty much a wrap-up season right from the start. Alright, let's see what we can do. I'm just going to go with board number 1. Here. The crash version is good. Unfortunately, all of that stuff was the classic commercial type TV where they replay the same thing sometimes, but it gets to the point. I mean, if they documented about it, it's at least maybe further depth and give us the full 25 minutes. When it's just like, should be good again. Alright. There we go. Fortunately, I have a lot of those batteries on hand. You got a big red cross through you, which means you're probably bad. But I'm not firing that up. Even a blind man like me can see that's not good. And I took out our 6259. That's no good. Oh, this is the one that came with the 3115 chassis that I bought a couple of weeks ago. Speaking of which, my other one that I'm waiting on still hasn't arrived, so I did receive a message from the person about 2 weeks ago saying, I'm sorry, certain things came up and I haven't had an opportunity to send them off, but it'll be sent to you on the Monday. Well, that was 2 weeks ago, so unfortunately I'm going to now put in a claim because that was 140, 150 bucks with freight, so I kind of need that money back, thanks buddy. I even sent another message and said, can you give me an update? And I heard nothing. Now when you hear nothing on the second attempt, you know that things have probably just gone from bad to worse on their side. And you know, I completely sympathize, empathize, take your pick. But at the same time, I've got my own chaos going on here and I need to be sure that I have that money handy. I've got things I've got to pay off. So, yeah. If I don't hear anything convincing this weekend, come Monday, that's a PayPal claim going in. Ooh, we've got corrosion under the foam there. I don't know enough about PS4s to be able to give you anything useful there, I'm afraid. I really only did that one PS4 HDMI port and then one more job after that, and now nothing. So I guess I probably priced myself out of the market, which was, maybe that was intentional. I'd imagine, yeah, if you're working at some gaming store and you deal with quite a few of them every day, then brilliant. That would, you know, it's an ideal thing to do, and you can probably do it really quickly. And you can probably do it as, much like I do iPhones. But for when you're doing it once every couple of months, I'd say no thanks. Send it to someone else who wants to make a living off it in bulk. But not me. Now get off there, you piece of mangy foam. Yeah, I do prefer my multimeters running off mains power, or certainly if not, then a massive battery. I do like my bench multimeters. There's just something nice. It seems a little bit initially counterintuitive because you think, well, you got to move around and the meter doesn't go with you, and you know, what if the cords are too short and things like that. But believe me, once you're set up on the bench multimeter, you don't at all really suffer that. Okay, so that cap's probably cactus. Claim before you hit the 45-day limit. Oh god. You know, it's probably actually not that far from the 45-day... cannot speak. 45-day limit, so thank you for that, good sir. Oh wait, this voltage. There we go. No, it's not shorted, but it's definitely not good. I'd say before I connect this up to anything, I'm going to just do flux and boil. Standard issue, flux and boil. We'll go from there. Try and shift this a little bit more forward so that the crippled fume hood has a bit better chance of saving my lungs. Hey Peter, Oxfordshire. Yeah. Nice to see UK people in here. Yeah, it really sucks with that PayPal thing because you try to be nice to people, you try to give people a chance to get around whatever life issues that they're encountering at the time, because you know that you know that you run into them yourself at times and you would like other people to treat you the same. But sadly it seems particularly when it comes to eBay, it's all just a load of bollocks. I'm smelling things I don't want to smell right now, and it's not cat farts. And it's not looking the greatest because the flux and boil isn't really fizzing it clean or anything, it's just more gunking. So it doesn't really bode well for the potential outcome. It's probably milk-based liquid damage. That's been there for several years now. Hey Greg, good to see you. Glasgow, welcome. And Marky Mark. Rod K, Brisbane. Yes, cat farts are quite problematic, in part because they're silent. We have 2 cats. When they get into the fish, you can always tell, because they're just happily lying on you, you're having a nice night, finally getting 30 minutes apiece to watch some Netflix or YouTube, and then you get hit in the face with this god-awful stench. And on YouTube lately I've been watching tiny house stuff, like Tiny House Living Big or something like that. I find it quite interesting. It's also interesting to see how most of the houses have progressed towards or converged towards a common type design. I think the big problem I'd have with a lot of those tiny houses is the whole bed in the loft thing. And you're going to bang your head something serious. Either that or you're going to fall down and break your neck. Those configurations are definitely for young, sprightly people who still can afford to break their necks every now and then. A geek in Japan. From Birmingham, England, not Japan. Were you ever from Japan? Or what's your claim to Japan? You Japanese by genetics? I mean, Japan's awesome. What a crazy, crazy culture. And yet they make it awesome. Okay, there's some bad things about it, but then again, what culture does not have bad things about it? I don't think there's any, really. I don't even know why I'm fluxing that. That wasn't even worthy of a flux. That was not flux worthy. Yeah, okay. I think that's SSD there. That probably should be fluxed. Hey, Jenny Tools, Cairns, another person from Cairns. Good to see you guys. You guys getting much of the cold up there? Not that you really know what cold is up there. I'll be heading kind of your way tomorrow. I'll be getting as far as Ingham, which is sort of close. I suppose Ipswich would be more when you start saying, okay, you're in the Cairns area now. But hey, it's a start. It's a start. Been a long time since I've been up that far. That cap. Anyone remember and notice that this particular cap here always seems to be a bit of a dud one for corroding? Alright, so we've fluxed and boiled away most of the corrosion. I'm not sure what to think about this chap, whether I should knock it off or not. But I think I'll just see if we can get a fan power up first. Watch out, the keyboard connector. Oh yeah, right, the melting of it, yeah. That's why I stopped. I can always replace those if I have to. It is a pain, I completely agree. It is not something you really want to replace. But push come to shove, it can be done. Right, turn you off, and enough of your screaming. Nice 27 here in the front of my heater. Oh, yeah, you're down south, Teresa. Okay, I get my memory sticks. Where is my MacBook memory sticks? Great. I had them the other week when everyone. Where did I put them? Okay. I've got one. There should be a matching one to that. Nah. I'm not gonna fret too much. 2 gig will be enough anyway. Okay. And we've got a MagSafe 1. MagSafe C. Good God, man. Not sure if I've got power on this or not. Would you ever use a BGA warming plate for jobs like this? No. Not really any reason to on these. The hot air does a quick enough job on it. Yeah. Helps if you plug these things in. I shouldn't be using that one. That's a customer one actually. Last thing I want to do is pop a customer's brick when it should be mine taking the hit. Okay, where is mine? Oh. Really, you need duplicates or triplicates of pretty much all your MagSafe bricks. Okay. I've got green light. Fan spin? Fan spin. No fan spin. Why no fan spin? If I've got green light, I should get fan spin. It's just the rule. And yep, it's definitely my MagSafe. it doesn't work in the other direction for some reason. It's just the way it is. Oh, alright. I guess we actually have to do some work here. There we go. How far? Yeah, Perth is around about 5,000 kilometres from here across where I am, and Perth is almost probably as diametrically opposite as you can get in Australia. Okay, is anything even getting warm? Get off. Nothing's getting warm, so it's not trying to get into their SO state. Just put it into the bottom slot just in case. Can't imagine it would really actually make a difference. And we are rewarded with confirmation of that. Okay, alright. So for once in my life I actually have to dig around and measure voltages and things. Wow. How disappointing. Time to bring up board views. Put a Rossmann amount of flux on it. That's only because I was doing flux and boil. Check 5V on the fans. Well, I was going to check G3 heart and everything else first. First I actually want to bring up flex board view. Then bring up our 3115 board. Tell Lewis to send you a thermal camera. He'll say, tell Union Repair to send me a thermal camera. Lewis won't give up his thermal camera. He's too greedy, too selfish. He doesn't share. Yes, we're going to go G3 hot, find out what's going on first. I'm just going to bring up everything so that we can all play along at home. View, menu bar actions. I did not think I would need menu bar actions back again, but I gotta admit, I do. Alright. G3 hot. Ah, I'm an idiot, of course. The fuse is the very first thing you go for. Hey, who cares? My PP bus is short. Well, I don't know if it would be short because I certainly wouldn't be getting green light. I must be getting something. Could be fake green light though. But I am curious to see what it is. 1256, okay, so we're good going there. Alright, that eliminates the easy stuff unfortunately. Let's see. Power rails. And we're just going to have to go through it and see what we're missing. I'll be very surprised if we don't have computing iSense. We could have a RTC issue. I guess I've got to stop trying to individually pick and choose. If I was to pick something, I almost might pick the audio circuit area. That's a favourite of mine. I mean, you're right. I mean, once you get the green light, there's a certain subset of things that you know should be okay. But I'll be honest, I've been caught out a few times in the past. just because of quirkiness, something weird going on. I find at times it really helps to not take too many assumptions. My guess is it's probably this thing here. It's probably just butchered. Our ISL. There'll be something that's not generating. We didn't really give it a good flush. Hey Luke! Audio. Oh gosh, here comes the puns. I'm just going to give this a little bit more of a scrub up. Good old wholesome Colgate graphite toothbrush. And producing our own fake ultrasonic bubbles. If G3 Hot's a little bit chilly, it'll be G3 Cool, man. One thing I should do, which I didn't do, is to see if G3 Hot pulsates. That would tend to indicate there is a short further down range. So what do we got? 55. Okay, it's not pulsating. 55, 56, that's pretty... No, it's definitely not the sort of pulsating I'm looking for. Yeah, 1278 prices are going up. This is one of the last MacBooks, you know, because you got the nice easy removable battery, you got the hard drive interface that you can swap out to use a solid state drive with 2.5-inch interface, you got standard memory slots, you know, you got all your ports on the machine, and if you really care, you've got a CD interface there too. So I can see why they're popular. Especially, and I've noticed it's the 2012s that are going up mostly in price, which of course is what this one is. It's 3115 board. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change over from the MagSafe power, and I'm going to switch over to be using the PC power, DC power supply, and that way I can find out whether I'm dealing with a heavy current draw or whether I've just got something twiddling its thumbs. Oh man, what a frickin' train wreck down here. Cable management, it's more important than you realize. And naturally I'll pull out the MagSafe 2 one. Aha, MagSafe 1. Let's see, get the right colors to the right locations, black to black, and connect anything else up. Set the 18 volts, 5 amps, that should do the trick. Okay, we're sitting at 23 milliamp draw. 20. Yeah, it's really not doing anything, and it's certainly not cycling anywhere. Okay. Now I'm going to be naughty because I'm lazy and I'm doing voltage testing. I'm going to take my ground probe and I'm going to plug it into the ground of the power supply. Now the reason why it's naughty is because I'm probably going to forget that, and then I'm going to do some violations in the wrong. I'm going to touch ground with my positive probe or something like that and get myself into trouble. Okay, back on voltage. How old is too old to get a MacBook? I'd say anything earlier than 2012 is now probably getting a little bit on the old side. I have one A1466, only work with aftermarket power supply, not chargeable. Is that the 165? You definitely need genuine MagSafe 2 for those. Okie dokie. Start checking things out. Now, why do they all have to be? So we should have 342 here. That's well and truly good enough. RTC G3 hot. This is actually a pretty important one. Yeah, where are you? Okay, you're the top of the lunar cap, and you got a test pad right there. Good day. 3.3, that's good. 5ES5. I mean, I should have all these, but I'm just checking them out of... is posterity the right word? I don't know. Just to be truly sure. .495, just make sure that doesn't glitch. Seems okay. It's a AliExpress MagSafe. I do wish I had... Oh, I've got a cough. I can taste the blood in that. Yum yum. Let's see, 5V sus. Yeah, I wish I had the free cash, so to speak, to just buy original ones. And 495. It's running a little on the low side, but again, it's not misbehaving. 3V3S3, and also, of course, there's the whole calibration aspect of the multimeter. I mean, okay, we do not have 3V3S3. Neat. So, and 3V3. Wait. No, I got that wrong. That's 5VS3. No, I think 53S3 is from the ISL. There, that one there. Okay, so turn that off. 53S3. I could be wrong. Someone want to quickly tell me so I don't have to think? I'd really, really appreciate that if you could do that. Interesting, that one goes into the audio chip. Oh, you're coming out of U7200, are you? Oops. Back up. And so you are. Wait, no you... Alright, we'll have to check here. We'll check the input. So, C7281... HS input. Okay, it's on the other side of that pair that we tested just before. And let's see, can we have power back on? Thank you. So we're definitely getting the input. That's good. We're just not getting the output. And we'll just verify that. And naturally, you're on the other side of the damn. So we use this one here. So that's you there. Yeah, no output. Missing PM sleep S4L. Yeah, maybe. But I'll see if we've got an enable on this. Enable trip. Turn on. See pin 16. Alright, we'll test that. We've got that. The output 8 and 17. Let's check in these ones too. Okay, that's good. 17. I think that one was good, wasn't it? Yep. So internal linear regulator ones are fine. Ah, here we go. Pin 13 is what I was after. You're kidding me. That's a crack up. Okay, this is fun. I don't know whether we got a bad schematic or a bad board view, but if you go to pin 13 on U7200, which is this TPS chip, yes it is, it comes up as a no connect on this one. So the board view file could be dud. Interesting. We'll check pin 13 anyway, because that definitely looks connected. And that's our enable pin. And we are being told to generate that output. But for some reason, we are picking up that whole network as an NC. Curious. I'll have to inspect that to make sure that that is legit or not. Like I said, it shows up as enable on the schematic, and so I don't know why it's showing up as NC on this board view file. It could be something in the Flex board view, the parsing engine for this particular format, because I try to consolidate certain network names into being NC networks, and maybe there's something in whatever that pin name is in the board view file, so EN0. I can't imagine what that would match with though, with what's in my source code. There's certainly the network name. Weird. Anyway, I'll have to check it out, but yeah, that's definitely wrong. So we'll replace that chip and who knows, we might get lucky. Oh, wait, no, what we should really be checking is that a short to ground? Okay, and before you squawk, I have remembered to take it out of the power supply. Otherwise it would have been fireworks and delights. And what was that for? Right, those caps. Well, there's certainly no short on that rail, so we're good to go with removing that chip. Yeah, Pianov, I'd say that it's one of the parsing. I've got a parsing issue there, is my guess. Fun to find out on a live stream. Good thing I found it before Lewis did. Yep, being trolled by my own software. See, it even happens to me. Because I was having significant issues at one point with just trying to control the number of networks that were showing up that actually were just NCs, but they weren't being weren't being bound to the NC dummy net. So I'll just go back through the code and find out what's going on, and I'll have a fix for it probably tomorrow or the day after. And I'm melting my connector. That's just my way of showing that I love this board at some point. Yeah, I'd probably sooner say that this was milk damage rather than water damage. Milk is certainly a liquid that produces rather more dramatic corrosion. Man, just trying to get a piece of solder here. Flux. What I'll probably do is I'll regression test version 1060 or whatever I'm running at the moment of Flexboard View with an earlier version as well with that board, and see if this fault shows up only in 1060, and I'm suspecting it will only show up in 1060. And for those wondering, no, this is not a customer board, this is just an eBay hack job board that I bought, which is why I'm being a little more fast and loose with everything. Who am I kidding? I'm just like that anyway. Hey, Ben Wong. Why did I say Wong? I mean, wrong. Ben Wrong. I don't know if this flux is dying on me or something, but every time I bring that soldering iron tip into it, it just parts like Moses with the sea. That should do. Yeah, what do we want? TPS 51125. 51125. I get the feeling I've actually got those as a standard part somewhere. That is to say, so I don't have to pull them from a donor board or anything. Okay, not in that bag of goodies. Cab files. What? Cab files. Wait, what do we use the cab files for? I know I'm being a moron here. Oh man, what is this? Oh right, good thing I wrote on the back of these. 26, 40. Got a weird collection of things here that needs to be sorted out. USB chip, another fan. TVS diodes, that should be in my hard drive recovery box. .330 microfarad caps, nope. An empty bag, that's always good. Naturally I'm going to leave it in there so I come across it again next time. TPS 510, close but no cigar. Yeah, I was right. Knew I'd seen them. Never opened either. DC-DC control, synchronous buck, 460 kHz, VQFN 24. Sounds about right. Well, so far I found these in there. No chips yet. Where are the chips? Oh, here they are. 3 of them. Is that all? Jeez, I must have been feeling cheap that day. Normally I buy rolls of 10 or so at least. I guess probably because I probably thought, well, I'm going to have plenty of donors, so there's no point. Bottom right, so like that. Way to not get it lined up. Someone just butchered this poor thing. Me. This is not even remotely close. I'm just cleaning up the bodginess, and then it really needs to be shoved almost half a pin forward at least. And that was more like a full pin. There we go. Now we've got to go around and actually put solder on the legs again. There's not enough flux there. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the flux. I don't know whether maybe my stations are running too hot, or the flux is just not doing its job. Maybe it's a bit old. Well, at least it's doing alright there. Making the connections it should. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, Rod. take care. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, Stray77 in here somewhere? Oh yeah, there he is. No, my damn camera just knocked out. I'm gonna have to watch to see if the microscope camera comes back. So I knocked it and I saw it power cycle. It's okay. So here we go, it's probably cooled down enough. Hey, we got a fan spin. So that was it. TPS was dead. Yeah, let's see if we actually get any activity. Come on. Blink. And again, blinky blink. Yeah, I really should use a USB drive. Yeah, it's blinking. But don't take my word for it, I'll actually plug in this drive and it's vastly more visible when it's on camera. There we go. And now I don't get a green light. What the hell, guys? There we go. Hey, Rick Fundermark's here. Hey ZX, good to see you. You're super late because, well, you're just a ZX 80. Or you're 81. Mr. Sinclair cannot make you go any faster. Well, it was blinking on the other one, so I don't know why it's not blinking on this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, I did just lose MagSafe again. And it's back. Wonder if there's something that'll get fixed up in what do you call it? Ultrasonic. Let's put this into a chassis and see if it gives us a display. And now Paul looks among his trash workshop and wonders where, oh where, did he put that 3115 chassis? Yeah, it's around here somewhere. Oh, why? Okay. You look too big to be. Oh wait, no. Yes, maybe. Could you be? Can it be? Can it be? eBay 9. eBay 9. I just broke the LED on my microscope. I broke my own stuff. And that's where our other stick is. Ah, the mysteries that solve themselves. I like that. Oh wait, you guys can't see that. Yeah. Yeah. This is eBay 9 and this here, eBay 9. So they get to meet again. Let's just, yeah, let's just keep pulling in that camera cable, Paul. I'm sure it won't rip out from the connector. There we go. Maddie, yeah, I do have a fume extractor. I've got a big one, but it's just not running properly at the moment because I've messed up the flow of it. And I need to reconfigure my workshop bench and everything so it can have a better flow again. It's the trouble when you change things around particularly when it comes to fluid dynamics or gas. I suppose it depends. Fluid dynamics covers gas as well, doesn't it? Yeah, you mess with things and all of a sudden the normal high rate of filtering stops. Hey Sally Charlie, you enjoy your northern sleep there? I should be going to sleep because I got that trip tomorrow, but yeah, well, guess I'll just have to drink a few more cups of coffee when I wake up. Get out of there. Oh, you're not sitting down because of the... Ah, I've lost it all then. Yep. I do wonder how people assembling MacBooks... Yeah, surely Apple cares about how fast it takes to build these things. And yet, they're putting the most annoyingly... And you're jammed under there again because you are a little so-and-so. Gotcha. That was far more drama than it needed to be. Okay. Once I finish putting these things together, I will look up at chat again. And the keyboard flexes under there. Thankfully that comes up easy. See if the camera comes to life. It does. Stop trashing the joint. I agree. I don't know why I bother putting the backlight connector in. For the keyboard, that is. So can you run MRI on this model? I guess I'll find out. Which connector? The camera one. If you rip one of the camera ones, what can I say? You poor bastard. Okay, that's my MRI. You have to sit there and manually reconnect everything. What can I say? Sucks to be you. I think my MagSafe's connected properly. Of course not. Oh, that'll... Oh, here we go. I'm just waiting to see if the MRI stick gets picked up and runs. I don't know if it will on this. Yeah, it looks like it did. Running slow though, so we might have a sensor issue. Or it could just be slow. Let's see, Mr. Tran. Question for anyone. When detecting short using alcohol free spray, why does it not show other components? Is there a limited time of circuit when the current is applied? Right, someone else is going to answer that one. Battery issue, hard drive issue, testing fan motor. Battery issues to be expected because we don't have one connected. Hard drive issues to be expected because we don't have one. Yeah, the alcohol and even water is not overly conductive, especially relative to the short that you're dealing with. I mean, the short has a resistance in the order of, say 1 ohm per millimeter or so, whereas your alcohol and water are in the mega ohms range. Okay, so we've got a sensor fault there. Okay, so it's just battery complaints. Let's see. Fin stack is good. CPU, current drain, everything. That's all looking good. Yep. Okay, it is a bit stuttery, but yeah. Everything else has come up fine. So what comes after sensors? Processing tests. I have a 820000164 board. It's a A1465 MacBook Air 12-inch, 11-inch, and it will fail. It will lock hard with a green orange triangle on the sensor right after I think it's finishing the sensor test, which is just when it starts the CPU test. I'm just not sure which side it's in. I'm suspecting maybe it's the end of the sensor test. Anyway, I've got to wait for an SMC for that to turn up. No one I can find has one, so I had to order from AliExpress, which was no fun. I spent even more money today on buying a 82000 board, which is a 2016 12-inch MacBook Retina. These things are expensive. Adele Sadie, no, I don't think you can. But if you dig around, someone will have the MRI for you. I just put it. It's a very convenient, quick test suite. The only trouble is it doesn't. I really would like one that just simply gives you a text dump of all the sensors it's about to test, the process of testing it, what the outcome is, and at least that way when something fails you can, or does a hard lock, you can see at what point it did a hard lock. Okay, so we'll shut that down. What ASD can I use on this? I'm trying to think. 132 is it? I can't remember. Just thought I'd try, just as an extra bonus. Spending money on a dead CPU book 12-inch, yeah. Well, I fixed up one today though. It was liquid damaged. Wouldn't start at all. It was just USB input shorted out and audio circuits shorted out. So I fixed those up. I'm not holding down the option key. The MRI is an ASD. I think it's a 3S155, or at least that's what it gets listed as in the EFI boot. Yeah, someone didn't hold down the key. Pernov would know better than me. Pernov is the real genius around here. I'm just the Aussie hack job. Oh, thanks, Greg. Yes, I appreciate everyone can thumbs up, subscribe, share, even. I've got to try and get some more exposure. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I guess I'm not controversial enough. Such is life. Let's try EFI 132. There we go. Pinov, I think the MRI is 155. Looks like it's not 132. Wow, that touch bar is slow. Well, this is a 3115, 8203115, so which ASD am I supposed to be using on this one? I don't seem to have them all. I've only got 130, 132, 155. Yeah. I'm sure I had others, but I don't know where they are. Nope, it's not that one. Hey Ed. Might have said hello to you before, I can't remember. I'm chewing on my lip at the moment because I think I sneezed too hard this morning in the cold dry weather and I split my lip good and proper. Yeah, 155. Well, at least it hasn't jammed up. What's this? Anton, the CPU will be locked to 800 megahertz without the battery. Okay. That is actually interesting, I didn't realise that. Oh, you're welcome, Trahan. I mean, you know, I'm just adding my little bit to the pool. Mostly I'm just recycling what work people like Lewis has done. I am really more... We're not going to bother testing the memory. Yeah. I am really more a toolmaker type person rather than a repair type person. I mean, obviously I'll do repairs because, you know, I've got to make a living. Being a toolmaker does not generally make a good living for you unless you're employed by a very big group or you have some exceptionally good tools that everybody wants. There's ZX. I certainly feel better. And I'll be putting that to the test tomorrow, and I've got to drive for 5 hours. Tony, sorry. You know, technically the stream kind of has finished. I mean, I've done the board, and it's past midnight, so I'm probably due to go to sleep now. And there we go. We've got the big green. We're past. So we've got the it's fixed. So I think we can happily go to sleep knowing that we've repaired yet another 3115. And I've got 2 or 3 more in the container to go, but they will be for another day. Alright, let's unplug that. Undo that. Appealing titles equals exposure. Yeah, I do need to put a little bit more effort again back into my titles. I was doing it for a while. I'd do up the individual graphics for all each video. It's a little harder with the live streams, particularly if you're on the rush. You sort of do the live stream, it's done, you then just, you know, don't bother coming back to it and doing anything more. I could do more Linus type expression stuff, like whatever, but it's... I did it with 1 or 2 and I wasn't trying to be Linus, whatever, but someone made a smart-ass remark about that, and I was like, I was just doing it for that one video. It's not like I was doing it for all the videos, you idiot. Alright. Okay, so that one's fixed. Obviously that's going to have to go into the ultrasonic cleaner now. That is quite the mess. Alright. Let's see, Alan Shields. Personally, I like that you're a tad more formal with videos. How do you mean by formal? As in, I don't tend to, I don't know, rant as much. Reflow GPUs don't work. Yeah, if you could get a replacement source, it'd be okay. But even then, that's not really worth it anymore. Mr. Hamid has subscribed. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You need to do more cat videos. Yeah, I'll get around to that. I've got to do phase 2 enclosure still, and I've also got to do a patio enclosure. Phase 2 fencing, I mean. Just kind of been busy trying to catch up with all the work in this workshop that I had to stop doing while I had to do phase 1 of the fencing. Phase 1 of Project 8 of the fencing. Scratch nose. It's just really hard trying to find enough time, energy and resources to do everything at the moment. Gotta go prepare braai. Pup and steaks. Oh man, I do love a good pup and sauce. There's just something about pup and sauce that makes me just want to stuff my craw with it. I don't know what it is, but any time I was at braai, it'd be one of the first things I'd be getting into, along with a good can of Hunters, so at least to get the night started. Should try Paul plays with pussy. Oh my goodness, yeah, that might work, but that'll probably get me struck out pretty quick. Right. Try video of title Apple is a scam. Yeah, those sort of clickbait type titles, they do get you a little bit of a spike. I just don't know what the backlash tends to be. Maybe being an honest person is just not really a good way to get exposure on YouTube. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna head off. Gotta have myself a shower, get some food, wind down for the night, and I'll probably in about 8 or 9 hours I'll be on the road. But thank you all for sitting around and watching, and I'm glad that we managed to get this one fixed. I really didn't think this was going to be a win, so it was nice. And the fact that it was pretty much just that one chip that we had to replace, I think cleaning up the corrosion definitely helped it, though. It made it behave a little better, so that we could then trace it down to being that faulty chip. Alright, with that, you all take care. I'll see you next time. And now I've got to find out how to turn it off.